Hello, folks. It is October 9th, 2023. And today we have Adrian Martinez with us, all the way from Nebraska.
Hey, Red, how's it going?
Pretty good.
Thank you for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Good to see you here.
Oh, well, I like that intro. That was really cool.
Anthony DiMartini made that for me. He said he sent me another email. He said, I have another one. I have another one. He keeps making them.
Wow.
So
very professional. Yeah, very professional, man.
Adrian, tell me about Invest in Yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where did you get the idea of the name Invest for Yourself, and what was it really all about? And how old were you when you thought of it?
Well, I'll take you back to the year, I guess, 2020 is when I started. So I was 20 years old, and I had the clothing brand Invest in Yourself Clothing. So that's what it originally started out with. And so I did that, during COVID. Everything was shut down. I was working, going to college, and there wasn't a whole lot for me to really do. So I was like, trying to figure out something that I could do because I knew I wanted to have something to work for in life. I always liked building something. And so I just really thought about it. And, I wanted to have my own clothing brand, have something that I could stand behind and represent. And so I was like, invest in yourself, and then, invest in yourself clothing. That'd be perfect. That'd be great. So I did that, made a lot of good shirts and stuff, took pictures, made quotes of people, made Facebook, social media and all that. And then I really started thinking about it more, hanging out with a good friend of mine. And he gave me the idea of starting a podcast. And, he had a different direction of what that podcast would have been. But I wanted to interview like people that were investing in themselves locally, because I'm from Nebraska. And, I did that for a little while. When I started my show, I was just hanging out in the shed with my dad, friends and stuff. And we were just talking about how people could invest in themselves, having beers, having nice cigars and stuff. And then,
I did. Years old, huh?
Okay. Yeah. So then,
you have a cool dad.
Well, I think at that time, and when I started the podcast, I was 21. So yeah, for damn sure I wouldn't have went online with a beer or nothing like that. But that's where it started off. So I think that was kind of like fast forwarding a year down the road after doing making designs, doing photo shoots and all that. And then I just transferred into doing the show. So I started interviewing people, business owners, actors, comedians, rap artists. And then I eventually came across a guy named Bobby Luisi, who has a show on YouTube and stuff. And he was one of the guys that I first interviewed that was in that, from a past criminal life. And the way that I kind of looked at that was, the guy's investing in himself because he turned his life around and now he's doing different stuff. So then it led me to doing a whole bunch of other stuff. And with all kinds of different mafia guys and ex-criminals, drug smugglers, and I mean, anything that, you could really think of. And then I even came across Red.
Yeah, you did. The first time Adrian called me or contacted me and asked me if he wanted to do a show, I said no, because there were too many drug dealers on it. And I said, I like to stay to the one subject of the Chicago outfit.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, we can have you on anyway. Very calm tone.
No, I know. And that's why, I read the book and then, I don't know what reconnected us, but you did end up going back on my show, going on it. We did it live. And, that was when I probably had less than, say 1,000 subscribers or something, maybe just around that mark. And now
you weren't even monetized yet.
No, not at all. And,
now you hit the big
10,000. Yep, exactly. 10,000. Just last week, over the weekend, probably Friday, it was when it happened. And, I let you know and you're like, oh yeah, that's cool. But you were reaching out to me before I hit that 10,000 mark, to have me come on and, share my story.
Well, you have a story to tell. It's a very good story.
Yeah.
So you're a married man.
Oh yeah, almost. I got my fiance. I proposed back in 2 months ago or 3 months now. Damn, man. This is back in July when we were over in Guatemala visiting her family and stuff. And I got I got a photographer to come and do it, like a professional one, and got all the family together and kind of tricked her and said, "Hey, I'm going to pay for family photos." And ended up proposing to her at the end of it, and surprising her. And that video is on my Facebook and stuff. But yeah, and
My mistake. I'm sorry for even talking about your personal life and say you're a married man, but I thought I saw you with a child.
yeah, no, I have that too. Yeah, no, I mean, we've been together for over 8 years now. So yeah, we had a daughter and stuff when I was young. I was 16 years old. So I had always had that, coming up in the back of my head, people telling me that, you're not going to be able to be successful in life and all that kind of stuff, man. And, after that, I just really used that for motivation. And, the people that did tell me that, a lot of them ended up becoming, criminals, or, getting involved with doing drugs and stuff. And some of them, yeah, they did good as well. But, it's not like, I mean, I don't know, they lived their life. I did mine. And I'm, just got a house and everything else, man. And got a good job, finished college, doing my show. I got 2 of the shows now that I do. So, I stay busy.
The right way.
Yeah, exactly, man. That's what I want to do. Legitimate,
Well, that's the way to do it. I admire you for that.
Well,
I
thank
look
you.
at so many young people today, and I'm 74, so I consider young people very young. But well, like your age, or in their 20s, 30s, and I
Yeah,
look at young people today, and a lot of them are not married. They
yeah,
have children, but they're not married. And I've
right.
asked 2 that are friends of mine. One lives in North Carolina. I said, "Well, you've been going with your childhood sweetheart from high school." I said, "When are you guys going to get married? You can have 2 kids together." And then I asked his Nicole, and she said, "I've been asking him that for like 5 years now." And so finally they got married.
Yeah, and I just think it's like, obviously, yeah, I do want to do that. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people may just get caught up in that moment of just trying to, get a house, get a job, get a car, and all that stuff, and then focus on it later. Because I mean, if you want to have a big, nice party, man, it costs a lot of money. It really does. So, and
Oh yeah.
doing house projects and stuff with my new house. So it's like, I don't know. We're trying to get it. Making that the priority, though. You know what I mean? Just to have that, even though hell, we've been together for so damn long.
That's the good part. That's a
Yeah,
great part.
yeah. But no, I mean, that's where I started with it. Back in 2020, and then like I said, 2021, I started, doing local stuff, and then probably by 2022, I really started to reach out with all kinds of people around the world and expanding the horizons to all kind of different outlets and stuff. Because now I'm really at the point too where I want to be picky about who I have on or who I even associate with. Because I when I first started, I just did it with a lot of people. And now I just want to be picky because I really want to cover good redemption stories and really have people on that genuinely mean, hey, I changed my life around. I used to live a life of crime, but I'm not involved with that no more, and I don't promote it. And I want to be involved with that.
Did you ever have Chris Curtis on?
No, who's that?
He wrote a book. He's out in LA. He
Uh-huh.
was part of a street gang. He was a drug dealer. He's like 40 years old now. He did 20 years in prison.
Damn. Yeah, no, I'll have to look him up, man. Maybe you know him or no?
Yeah, I kind of helped him. I guided him on how to publish his book,
Oh,
and
cool.
he sent me a copy of it, the manuscript, and I just kind of edited it, gave him some ideas, and he was on. I forget whose show he was on, but all of a sudden he disappeared.
Hmm.
And I switched cell phones, just like when you called me. You
I
said
know.
I couldn't find you. I couldn't get through, and I said I got a new number.
Yeah. No, I mean, man, maybe you could help make the connection. Maybe I'll reach out to him and see what's up, because that would be really cool to that's what I'm really into right now. That's where I want to go with my Invest in Yourself show. And
After 20 years, he really turned his life around.
yeah, and that's what I like to hear. And I don't know, those hearing those kind of stories, to me, I don't know what it is, but it makes me, to hear that they came full circle and got out of it. It actually like gives me chills or makes me feel good about doing a show with them, because it really could, man. Because I have family that are involved with being involved with crime and getting in trouble for stupid stuff. And it sucks because you love and care about them and you really want them to change and stuff. But sometimes, I have to go through stuff, but, maybe these shows and stuff, they could really help people out. They can also do a lot of damage if, guys trying to promote or glamorize that stuff, but they can also do really good. And that's where I want to go with, my show now being going on 3 years.
That's kind of what I was suggesting years ago, but pick your own engineer and stay there.
No, I know.
I know it's Hollywood Wade, great guy.
Oh yeah,
but
he is.
He goes all over the place.
Oh yeah, I mean his show is, I like him. I've been on. I think I did his show, and it is nice to cover a vast majority of different things and stuff. But yeah, I mean sometimes like all the YouTube guys say you got to have a niche and stuff, but. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Whatever works for everyone's show. I mean, that's what they do. As long as they attacking people and, going back and forth, arguing with each other. I mean, good.
I don't have that on my show, thank goodness. It's been a very seldom time, even though we're live. It's a very seldom time that we get a heckler in here or something like that, and I just boot him. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and if someone throws, when I'm commenting or commenting back, I always want to respond to everyone on my videos. So if they throw something weird or something rude, I'll just say thank you for watching. Leave it at that. Heart it.
Tracy Gamwell, right?
Oh yeah, she's on my. She said, it's late over there. Yeah. Hey, how you doing, Tracy? Yeah, she's always tuning in. But no, I mean, I don't know what area she's from, but I think I don't know. It's on a whole different time zone than we are. She follows your show too then, huh?
I think this is the first time I've seen Tracy.
Oh, okay.
God bless you, Aaron. Thanks for the kiss.
Red will take it.
Oh, yeah. They got, this is a funny one. Let's see here. She's making quite a few comments. She must be one of your best followers.
Oh, yeah. She has been following for a while, man. I'm looking at some of these comments, too.
Roy Munson is from Ireland.
Oh, damn.
And he's a regular on my show. How you doing, Roy? Good to see you. Glad to see you popped in. It's late over there, too.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
It's different. Pete Byron.
Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing, Pete? I see Ryan's in there too. Hey, Ryan. Hope you're well, man.
Yeah. We have some crossovers that I'm looking for the one comment. The guy, I passed it up. Anyway, the guy, I forget who he was, but he said, I hope Adrian asked him some questions. I'm looking at it and say, here's one for you.
I still don't understand the reason why Guardian. Oh yeah, they're talking about from my other show. Pete's talking about from Sal and A Lifetime of Mafia Tales. Well, when we goes live this Sunday, Pete, you can ask him that again and have him expand on that whole thing with Gotti and Foxy. Yeah, and that's something else I suppose I could go into as well, Red. About the show that I had partnered up with him, because he is someone that story really hasn't been out there. I mean, he made a movie off of his life, in the mob. He also did two books, Sins of the Father, and then the Sinatra Club. And so, he's been in a lot of documentaries and stuff, but our mutual friend, Gary Jenkins, actually made the connection with me and Sal. And, because he was the only one that had an interview with Sal, like a current one. So I immediately probably reached out to him like, dude, can you help me? I really would like to have him on the show. And, he made the connection. He gave me his phone number, I think. And, we did it. And we almost didn't do it, though. I mean, I don't know. He wasn't feeling it at the time as well because, he's used to getting paid for doing interviews and stuff. And I was like, I don't ever really do that. You know what I mean? So he ended up doing it around December or January. We were probably talking on and off for a while to do it. And then, I didn't even post it till maybe May or June of this year because I've just have so many interviews, so many backlog of stuff, man. I post one a week. And so I finally did it.
With him, though.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Don't do lives.
No, I do now with him on Sundays. We do lives, me and Sal. But we got about 50,000 views, and it was one of my best videos that I had done at that time. And so I called him, I told him about it, and I said, we should really partner up and, tell your story and do a podcast. And so he says, okay, that's cool. Let's do it. Let me think. But he didn't say that at first. He wanted to think about it and figure stuff out. But we eventually did it, and it's called A Lifetime of Mafia Tales.
Very good. I'll have to tune in. I'll have to see it.
Yeah.
Scott H is asking where he's located. And Scott, I announced it earlier. He's located in Nebraska.
Nebraska, yes. But yeah, I mean, he's another guy, that I really want to, if I was thinking too long term, if I want to partner with someone, I want to cover someone's story that, wants to actually put out something good and have, a good message behind it. Whether he was involved with the crime and stuff back then, doing all kinds of stuff. He never crossed the line and committed a murder. And, he tells his stories. I find him to be very truthful. A lot of people do as well. I ask him a question about someone that he doesn't know, he just leave it. I don't know. You don't want to even talk about it. Kind of like how you want to talk about Chicago. If he doesn't know someone, he won't go into it. So, a lot of people like him, but, we want to, with people that we cover, like how, when you do a show, like say you're covering the Chicago guy. Well, we cover a New York guy that Sal knew. And, we go into detail. I do my research. I read the book about the guy that they did. And then he kind of gives his perspective of who the guy was and and their encounters. And as well as just really at the end, when we're wrapping up, we really wrap up what this person did wrong and why they go down that route in life, and what people can learn from what this person did, or that's what I'm trying to really incorporate. Oh, look at that, Ryan Brown.
Yes, Ryan's a regular.
Oh, there you go. $10 super chat.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you very much.
Let me read that. Hey, Red. Hey, I'm glad you like the podcast, Ryan. I appreciate it, man. Missed the live stream yesterday. Well, you can always catch the replay, man. We're going to be going live Sunday again, too. Every Sunday we do. I
saw that post, and I said Sunday live. Or it didn't say Sunday. It said tomorrow. I was looking at those YouTube specials.
Oh, yeah. And it'll.
Ron Ramsey is from Davenport, Iowa. He's here.
Oh, Midwest as well.
Kissy Cat's one of my regulars. She's out in Las Vegas.
Oh, cool.
And she has her own channel, too. She does food things that are really interesting sometimes.
Some good food.
Oh, all kinds of neat things. And drink.
That's cool.
Ryan says he'll be there.
Oh, yeah, man. Look forward to your questions.
He's cool.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. No, it is nice because, I mean, when people do those super chats and stuff, that really does go a long way, I believe. Yesterday when we went live, we got one from his name's Big G. I don't know if he's ever came on yours, but he gave us $50. And then
wow.
I know. And then another guy gave us 10. I'm like, wow, that's cool. I'm not used to that, but I mean, it helps, and it, puts money in our, pocket, give us more motivation and, skills to go and do stuff. But it's cool. People like it, and they just, they'll say thank you. Sal and Adrian are like a lot, Red and Adam in a way.
That's a good match. Thank you, Pete. Anyhow, so when you first started, did you start with an iPhone?
Well, yeah, I mean, I always had, use my phone for, making shirts, taking notes and all kinds of stuff like that. And I've done a few shows, I suppose, with the iPhone, but, the one I'm using the computer right now that I've always used since the beginning, it's a nice laptop. It's, used it for college and stuff, but, I've leveled up. I got the 2 ring lights over here. I got the sign behind me, the camera, the microphone, 2 monitors, but I started with the laptop, just this little laptop, nothing on it, man. And, I leveled up from that, but, yeah, I've done lives and stuff before back with just, the iPhone and stuff, but I can do whatever. I can do everything on this iPhone except edit on it. So make the thumbnails and everything. So I made the thumbnail for this one. I mean,
thank you. I didn't want to cut something out of one of your, like a frame out of your video or something like that, and try and put a something on there. But you did it right. You did it perfect.
I thought you'd like that, Mr. Invest in Yourself.
I liked it. I liked it, man. Gary Jenkins has been very influential with me in many ways. He was the first man in 2016, he was the first man to invite me onto his show. And at that point, it was a podcast.
Yeah.
It was voice.
Yeah, just audio.
The old Ice House. And Gary had me on, then he had me on again. He's had me on several times. Gary's a good guy. He's a great guy. He always tries to help everybody else. You know, he's one of those guys that just, it's like, I feel bad for Anthony DiMartini because he got demonetized and thrown off of YouTube. So he's on, he had to go to Rumble, I believe it is.
And was he posting some bad stuff?
A podcast for me and says, send people over, you know, but a lot of people just don't want to leave YouTube yet.
Yeah, no, I mean, there's still a lot of people that are familiar with it. Rumble's a whole new thing, and it's like, I've got one. I do. It's the same thing, but I only get a couple views on all my stuff. I don't know how to work it, man. I really don't.
I don't either. I'm not ready to make the change.
No. Let's see what he said. Ryan says, I can't stay. Gentlemen, just wanted to pop in and say hello. God bless you both. Have a great night and a wonderful rest of your week. You too, Ryan. Thanks for tuning in, man.
God bless you, Ryan.
Yeah, no, you were talking about Gary, though. He is a very helpful guy. And I went up there and he gave us a tour of the Kansas City mafia locations and stuff up there. I went up there with my buddy Colby and then my other friend Ethan. Colby, he has a channel for fishing and stuff. And, you know, he used to do interviews with guys and stuff like that, you know, in the whole true crime area. But, you know, he wanted to do fishing and stuff. But, you know, Gary gave us the whole tour. And he even told us which restaurant to go to. He gave us a nice Italian place. And, you know,
I call a good host. When you visit that town, he's a good host.
Yes, exactly.
It's like when I'm out in Las Vegas, Adam is a great host. He really is.
Spoil you.
Yeah, it's kind of a surprise. Every time he found me when I got off the jet, he was like right there and said, I can't believe you're here. Comes over, gives me a big bear hug. You know, I can't believe it.
Well, that's how I felt too when I, finally got to meet Sal. He came through, and it's like so weird. We've been talking and doing these shows for so long, and now you finally meet him in person. You're like, holy crap, this is so weird, man. He's just like put his hand to shake, and I gave him a hug too.
Somebody here, I think it's you. It might be you, Pete. Mentioned that Frank. He's talking about my first-hand information here. Frank Schweiss is in the news again. He calls him Frank the German because that's what the news called him.
What was he going on with him?
I don't know. It's in the news, so I'll have to ask and look at Facebook later and find out. But he's been dead since 2008, so I don't know what he'd be in the news again for. Maybe it's an old news clip about him.
Have you seen the new book about? I believe the guy. What's his name? I mean, he just came out with the book. He's been doing a lot of stuff on the news. I don't know if he was with the outfit, but you know, he wrote about the book about. Maybe he was with the Chicago outfit. No, I don't know. But he wrote a book about being connected with Trump, and he was in the mob. I haven't looked into him much. I don't know if you know him. Damn it, I'm totally blanking his name out. I don't even know what to look up. But
that happens to me all the time.
I know. Man.
In my case, I call it Sinaldi.
And I'm only
in your case, I call it an active life. There's more than YouTube.
Yeah, no, I know. No, not Joey Merlino. It's he just wrote a book. But no, Joey Merlino, yeah, he's another one. You've been watching his stuff, Red?
Not really. I watch a lot of things, but I jump around. I just jump around, and I try to get. I'll look in on yours occasionally, but sometimes I'll make a comment, but very rarely. Sometimes I don't really understand your guests or why you had them as a guest, and I can't really comment about New York because I don't know anything about New York.
Yeah, no, I know. And that, yeah, no, when you have certain guys and there's a lot of guys that don't get along with each other out there and stuff. So that's why, I'm trying. Oh yeah, Frank DiMatteo's, he's another good author. But no, it wasn't him either. I've had him on my show a couple times, but what the hell was I saying?
That's okay. Okay. This is
Let's
what it
see.
is. Pete Byron, when Frank was on the lam, he called about a Russian extorting him, and Frank sent someone to take care of it. Who was in court relating to that? Oh, that was in Family Secrets. He's talking about Frank Schweiss.
Oh, okay. Let me see who he's talking about.
Got to be news.
Yeah. No, that's a lawyer that they're talking about. The other, the Mark guy.
Oh,
He was talking about Mark. I was looking up. No, I don't know.
lawyers are lawyers.
Yeah. They can be associates sometimes too.
Oh, yeah. Here we have Chicago Joe. Mark.
That's what I was looking up, but I think he was the lawyer. That
Okay.
Mark.
Actually, that's an interesting story. His whole life is in. Somebody told me I should write a book about him.
You
And
know him pretty well?
Pardon?
Did you know him pretty well, or just know a lot of information about him?
Frankie?
Oh, wait, did they say Frank or Mark to write a book on?
Frank.
Frank. Oh, Frank. You knew him pretty well then?
Quite well.
Quite well.
Videos on him for a couple of years
Oh, shit.
in my home.
Damn.
Where
Oh,
he
okay.
talked about murders and everything else. So it was kind of different. Very different. At any rate, are you hungry?
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. You gonna.
Both look like we don't miss a meal.
No, man. Hell no. Not at all. Always eat a lot around this time, man. Just don't really eat much throughout the day, but, dinner time's time to eat. Hi, was it Sammy the Bull? No. We're going to be guessing all night, man.
Yeah.
Who the hell it was?
At any rate, Adrian,
Mhm.
so you got into this and you made your 10,000. It only took you what, 2 years?
Yeah, I suppose so. It did. And I felt like, it felt like it took forever though, but I guess, yeah, maybe I'm going on 3 years, but the first year really didn't even count. But yeah, I mean, 2 years it's been long, trying to figure out which direction I want to go. And I'm still figuring that out, I think, because I wanted to do interviews with people and stuff that were in business. And then it went from actors, comedians, and, it just kind of went everywhere. And then, covering a lot of guys that were in the mob and authors and all that. But I mean, they always still somewhat had that message, invest in yourself. But now I really want to incorporate that in my show and continue to interview guys that were, involved with criminal life and had some kind of redemption story. And then, with Sal's, I want to continue to cover his life story and guys he was around. But, for doing that for day in and day out, I mean, I love it. I enjoy it. I like doing it. So it doesn't really, like, people say it ain't work, if you enjoy it. So that's what I do. I don't mind it at all. I think of it as something I look forward to do every day. It gives me some kind of escape. I think, I'd have some really bad anxiety or some crazy thoughts, I used to have perfecting his acts with each song. Thank you, Pete. No, I used to just have anxiety so bad, you know what I mean? But now it's like, now that I've had this over the past couple of years, I've just been able to, focus my energy and all my time and with family and stuff as well. But all my, dead time, you want to call it, I continue to focus it on this. So I don't really have time to.
You never get bored.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't have time to think about, stupid stuff or stuff that don't even matter. You know what I mean?
Well, you take priorities in life.
Yeah.
You're investing in yourself every day when you wake up.
Exactly. Just like the sign. Well, that says IIY podcast. Stands for Invest in Yourself podcast. But yeah, I mean, you can get a sign behind you too.
A lot of people have suggested a lot of things about me. What's
Just
behind me? I'm just the first one I did live.
Oh,
was with the Adam Flowers
oh,
on
okay.
Lava. And there were boxes and all kinds of stuff stacked up behind me. And I didn't know it wasn't alive. He was editing it. And I didn't know if he was going to dodge some of that out or what. And when I saw it after it went up, I said, "Oh man, I got to clean the table off."
It's full of shit.
It was everywhere. The boxes everywhere. Roy Munson, here we got another guest for you. Going
Oh, Dominic's account. Yeah, no, it ain't him. I feel so bad now that I said that because I have no. I
don't
don't know.
feel bad. It took me a few minutes to say this or to think about it before I even posted it. The guy that did a show on getting help from the German was Scott Bernstein from the original
Detroit
show.
Yeah, Detroit. I think that's where he's at. Yeah, and he's cool. My buddy Colby's pretty cool with him as well. He's got a good show that he does with his co-host and stuff. They cover a lot of true crime, mafia, motorcycle stuff as well.
I just had an interesting before we went on the air.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Gary Jenkins' room, and a guy said to me, who's leading the mafia now? Who's leading the outfit in Chicago? Mm-hmm. And I made a comment. I said that there is no more outfit. Outfit used to be organized crime. Now it's disorganized crime, and there are a bunch of thugs out there doing things that they're not really connected with each other. There's no groups anymore. And somebody agreed with the thug part, but he said they must be organized. I really don't think they are.
Yeah, I mean, what has there been any reports at all, like with the outfit, like associates or say, hey, in the news or anything in the past couple of years or anything?
Some of the people like Albert Vienna, he's been spotted, but he's like 70. He's about a year older than I am, and he's not doing anything.
No,
they're retired. They took investments from their money years ago and put it into things, and they're not bust outs. They survived, but to name them and say they're part of this or part of that, that's all in the past.
No,
there anymore.
Well, that's what I was wondering, if there's like any young upcoming guys in that have been in the news or had that kind of title labeled on them, Chicago Outfit Associate or something.
Not upcoming, no.
No, just kind of older guys.
And I don't think there is in New York either. I think it's all disorganized crime in New York. That's my own opinion.
Yeah, you don't really see much about any of the families. I mean, Canada, I don't know if I haven't followed a whole
Toronto?
lot. Yeah. Them, I think they're still pretty active, but I haven't followed them. I don't really follow that whole stuff a lot, but I think it'd be interesting to learn a little bit about it.
Michael Graham. I only get between Italian beef sandwich.
I don't blame you. They're good.
That's me up in the corner eating one.
Yeah, I'm right there.
That was taken up in Las Vegas. You got it.
Yeah.
Adam took that picture.
You look very happy in that picture.
I was, man. I said I wanted Italian beef. They don't have Italian beef here.
So you got the real deal up there.
I was biting into it.
That mob museum up there, is it pretty cool? I've never been there.
I didn't go in. I avoid the mob museum because years ago, maybe 2016, 17, I called the mob museum and asked them if I could just put my book in there to sell at their gift shop. And they said no.
They didn't want anything to do with you?
Nothing to do with me. They called me a rat, a snitch, and everything else. And said really unkind things that I won't say on the air. But whoever I spoke to said that. And then several people said, "Oh, I know somebody there. I'll get your book in." Never happened.
Don't they interview guys that were informants and stuff?
No.
Or don't they allow informants and stuff? They don't?
They stay with the real criminals.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
they want to stay with Meyer Lansky and paraphernalia for Meyer Lansky, people that had associations in Las Vegas.
Yeah, so they weren't. I guess the Chicago outfit did, I suppose, you know what I mean? And they had, with obviously Frank Collada and then Tony Spilatro. And
before that, it was Marshall Cafano.
He was the first one out there?
No, he wasn't the first. He was way back. Sam Giancana sent him out there back in
Damn.
1960. 1960, I think he went out there.
Yeah.
So that was a long time. But before that was Johnny Roselli. They were all Chicago people that ran it.
Yeah, and him and Sam Giancana, yeah, they both supposedly they were connected with when their murders. You know what I mean? Like what do you think about their murders, Sam and?
I don't know about Sam Giancana's murders, but I knew Marshall quite well. He was involved with me, and we used to hang out, go for breakfast every morning. But Marshall, he told me that at the time he didn't know who I was or anything, but he told me that he extorted Ray Ryan, and he said he gave a different definition to when you see in the newspapers. He really gave a totally different story about how he did it and what happened. Him and Johnny Delmonico. But the way he told me about it was, he said one time he told me right after Richard Kane was murdered, he told me, he said every time he set up that murder for Richard Kane, he was the bait to go so Kane could get killed. But he turned around and said something like, every time this guy breathes, he's breathing my air. And so when he got bombed in 78, I believe it was 78 or 79, Ray Ryan, Gary did a piece on him, Gary Jenkins. And it was no surprise. I mean, it was no surprise. And he was the first suspect that they brought in. They couldn't do anything.
Nothing. Damn. Yeah, a lot of internal hits, man, within the mafia. That's for damn sure. The Mom Museum has government displays, but they don't like informants. Makes no sense.
It's true.
Yeah.
Very true. Okay.
Canada's
known as the Sixth Family. Is it attached to New York?
I mean, I mean, yeah. You think about it, they're physically connected, the two countries like that. But I mean, yeah, they could be known as that. I wouldn't think.
At one time, this is firsthand knowledge from Bill Romer, who I knew Bill Romer, and he told me the Bonanno family was up there.
Yeah, and then that was with
a long time ago.
Yeah, that was with when the whole French Connection deal was going on with that case, and they were distributing drugs from there and France and everything. They're all connected somehow, and getting the drugs in.
Well, Bonanno's I forgot the old man. I'm trying to think his name right now. Bill Bonanno's father,
Joe Bonanno.
Joe Bonanno's cousin is in Buffalo.
Oh, he's still around?
Well, no.
Hell, I don't know. How old? He would have been, what, 100 years old now?
No, he'd probably be 110.
Well, you said he was in Buffalo?
Yes. As a matter of fact, when Joe Bonanno was kidnapped, they took him to his cousin's house in Buffalo, and they tried to cool him off. Damn. And make him, close his family down. He didn't.
No.
That was the Great Banana War, or Bananas War, whatever they called it.
That's what they call it. Yeah, that was their internal war. I guess they had a few, but I think
I always said, Adrian, I've always said that these people argued so much amongst themselves that they really didn't have a chance to grow.
No, I mean, that's the problem. And you think about the outfit, it's so independent. There's
everything west.
They went clear the other way. Yeah, I mean, you really think they just stayed away? They did their own thing. Sure, they may have had their connections and meetings and operations with them, but it seems like they just wanted to stay independent, have some kind of organization underneath one whole family instead of five. I don't know why.
Well, I never understood that commission deal because I don't know. There were rules about who could talk and who couldn't talk and stuff like that. In Chicago, it was a different story. The boss called you in. One boss called one guy in to call the other guy in. They had a sit down. They didn't call a sit down. You were sent for. That was it.
Yeah.
And when they do something, they would just settle it right there. It'd be settled right there.
And that'd be the end of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either you walked out of there knowing you were going to get clipped, or you walked out of there knowing, okay, I screwed up, and this is what happened.
Yeah. Did you ever have to go to any sit downs?
One time,
What was that?
my father, my father, he was a pain in the ass. My dad opened up a couple game rooms downtown, and I'd been in. I always bought my own jukeboxes and cigarette machines. Everything, every vending was mine. And so my father went to Bally Midwest, and he dropped Joey Lombardo's name. They gave him everything on credit. And Joey, with Joey as the guarantor, right?
Yeah.
And his name was the same as mine. It was legally the same name as mine. So I got called for, I got sent for, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what my dad was doing. And so Joe talked to me. There were a couple people there, but Joe talked to me, Joe Lombardo. And he told me, he said, I want you to shut down every business that you have an association with. And I didn't argue. I just went over to telephone and said, hey, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. And people would ask me why. And I said, just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah. So I got everything shut down. He said, now call your dad. And I called my dad and I said, Dad, we have a problem here. And he said, what is it? And I said, well, I'm with some people and they told me to tell you to shut down. And he said, fuck them Dagos. He said, I ain't shutting down.
Oh my God. And you're insane.
He said, I went to the Battle of the Bulge and killed more Germans. What's another Dago to me?
Jeez.
So when I walked out of there, it was kind of like they told me to reopen everything. Naturally, it was revenue. But when I reopened everything, they said, Joey came out and he put his arm on my shoulder, walked me out, and I'll never forget the words. He said, we can't be responsible for what our parents do. Now, I didn't know if they were going to clip him or what they were going to do. Worse, about 4 or 5 days after that, Marshall Cufano goes in to see him without telling me.
Mm-hmm.
He pulls a gun and jams it in his ribs.
Damn.
And I thought, he's dead now. But they never clipped him because he was my father. He was associated with me.
Wow.
Things were different then. When those guys gave you their word was bond. They
really meant it.
Oh yeah.
That is that could have went a whole lot of different ways, man. That's for damn sure. And I'm, maybe you wouldn't be here telling the story, or maybe you would, who knows? But either way, you made it through it. They didn't clip your dad, which is good.
He died in a bed in 1994.
Wow.
And he never even looked at. He didn't like the outfit at all. No. And he didn't like the fact that I got into bed with him,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, at least you got out and made a different life for yourself. So you changed it around. That's what is important. You got out of that stuff. I'm sure you would respect it.
That was my goal. That was my goal. I became an FBI informant in August of 1971.
Mm-hmm.
And that was right after Tony went to Vegas.
Damn. So just right after.
And I told Tony later on, I think it was in 75, I told Tony, we were drinking one night, and I said, Tony, there's something I think we should talk about. And I said, what? And I said,
I remember this.
And he said, no shit. And I said, yeah. And he said, well, we're not talking about anything, so don't worry about it.
Wow, that's insane. No, I remember that from the book and from you telling me that from our interview. Yeah, and you would think that he would have been pissed or he would have done something, but I guess you never talked about that. You guys were just friends, and that was it.
Yes.
So
Diane was on a show with me, Diane Hansen. Mm-hmm. She was on a show with me. She knew Tony, and she knew all the people that I knew at that time. She's in her 80s, but lives in Florida here, and she got in touch with me. And she verified everything that I said, but there's a lot of people out there that don't believe it. They said, oh, no, he would have never put up with that.
Because there's tapes to back it up.
Even what they don't believe.
Yeah. No, I know. And, some people will believe what you got to say and some won't. But whether they do or not, you're still going to put your stories out there. People are still going to watch them. They're going to listen. And you know what I mean? You wrote your book about it. So what are you going to do?
I'd like to share this with you. This is my rule of thumb. If you listen to somebody year after year and their story never changes, it never deviates.
Right.
They're telling the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they keep it the same. And I don't even understand why some people want to go on there and lie and stuff. But I mean, what do you get at that? You know what
They
I
all
mean?
want to be noticed. They all want to be. Look at Chucky Maselli.
I haven't talked to him in a while.
Well, he just got out of prison.
What did he do?
Something out in Will County, Joliet. He this time he conned somebody, a contractor, and it was a hospital, so it was federal funding. So they locked him up.
Federal crime.
I didn't want to be associated with him, and Chip called me and said, I want to have a shootout between you and him. And I said, I don't want to do it. And he finally talked me into it. So I did go on, and I going, You know, Red, right? He's trying to get me to endorse him. And no way, I'm not going to endorse him. Guy was a flake. But that's a Johnny Russo joke, too. Everybody's making jokes about Johnny Russo lately.
I seen someone was commenting on here, too. I seen someone say something about Johnny Russo. I was trying to find it in the chat.
Where? Okay, I got to see if it's a Johnny Russo. Oh,
I swear.
in there, too. There we go.
Member for 5 months, someone said, too. Damn.
Pepperjet. Johnny Russo has been in there somewhere. Has to be in there somewhere. No, well, I guess we just gave him some publicity. He wrote another book.
No, but I do appreciate you having me on, Red. It was good, man. Damn.
Julie M is living. She's out in Iowa.
Been a
member for 5 months of my channel.
Wow.
Thank you, Julie. God bless you, dear. Well, Adrian, it's we're coming along. I know your stomach's growling by now.
No, yeah, it is. Absolutely, man. But no, I appreciate you having me on and letting me come on and share my story and be a guest. Usually I'm the one doing the interviews.
That's why I thought you'd be a good candidate.
Just
to tell your story.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it's a catchy title. Invest in yourself.
Oh yeah, has to invest in yourself. Anybody can do it, as long as they want to, invest in themselves. Whether it's starting their own business or going to changing their life around, or just wanting to knock out goals every day. Man, that's investing in yourself. So anybody that wants to check out my channel, it's in the video description. Red's a good host. He put that there. So come check me out. And,
in the description, there's everything. There's a link how to reach him. There's a link on his merchandise. Everything is right in here for you.
Perfect, man. Well, I appreciate it, Red.
Yeah, that's great. That's all right, buddy.
All right, man.
God bless you.
God bless you too.
Have a great night. To best to you and your family and all you love.
Thank you, man. Same to you.
I'm going to take us out here, I think.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you're going to continue on or not.
Why? Do you want to just leave?
Oh, no. Yeah, that's fine. I can just leave. It's all right. If you're going to continue doing your show.
Okay. I'll let it go for 10 minutes. Thank you again, buddy.
Yeah. I'll be in touch, man. We'll talk soon.
I want to leave an idea with you, though, before you go.
What do you got?
Years ago, before cell phones, YouTubes, and everything else, no computers even then, I used to be a bartender.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to say, I'm tired of working for that other guy. I'm tired of putting money in his pocket.
Right.
Because he was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I was probably making maybe $18,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I need to work for myself. And that's how I got involved. And so I identified with your invest in yourself.
Exactly, man. I mean, that's what you do, because these other guys, they're going to make so much off of you. Hell, why don't you go and do something out for yourself? And that's what I'm working for, man. That's what I'm trying to, fully live off of my show. That's what I want to do one day. That's my goal.
It's not a bad goal. I love it.
All right. Well, you be good, Red. I'll be in touch soon, man.
All right, buddy. God bless.
You too.
The combination of the videotapes and Wemette's testimony resulted in the conviction of 2 men on extortion charges. One of them was Frank Schweiz, known in syndicate circles as the German, a feared mob terrorist and a suspect in a number of gangland murders.
He was described to me by other outfit individuals as the most feared hitman. And as he said to me, my reputation precedes me, son.